Are you playing email back and forth, go fish with your clients trying to collect information? Well, this video might be for you because today I'm going to go through the 5 forms you need for your online service-based business. Hey guys, my name is Corinne and I am an online operations manager for 6- and 7-figure business owners. I love working with bookkeepers, accountants, service providers, online coaches, and today I'm going to talk about the 5 forms you need in your business for a clean and efficient onboarding process. Okay. So this may change a little bit based on your business, but the very, very first form you need is an application form. This is often called for like coaching, in coaching businesses. It's like an application form for a book a call. So sometimes service providers think that they don't need one of these, but you really, really do. The one thing in life that you cannot get back is your time, right? You can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. So it's important that we really protect our calendars. So before you even get on a call for a discovery call with someone, you really should have an application form to see if it's even worth your time. So for service providers, bookkeepers, accountants, coaches, an application form is number 1 that you want to make sure they apply for a call with you. And then you're only getting on calls for people that meet your niche, who can afford to work with you, who fit sort of like your criteria, I would say. Okay, so form number 2 you need in your business is a proposal for, this is going to be maybe not for the coaches, but a proposal for your intro offer. So now what I'm talking about is like for bookkeepers and accountants, they call it a diagnostic review. I call it a systems audit. So basically, when someone's thinking about working with me, the very first thing we do is a systems audit. And basically, for me to be able to quote them the appropriate price for their business on what it would take for me to work with them or help them or turn their business around, I need to go and scope out the behind the scenes of their business and basically sort of like look under the hood, right? So instead of not getting paid for this, we want to send them a proposal for a scope quote. Okay. So you're going to scope them out and then you're going to provide them a quote. Now, the reason why we pay or we charge for this is because they could take this quote and this action list and they could go to somebody else. You're taking up time for you to give them this action plan. And if they don't use you for it, then basically you wasted your time providing it. So you're going to provide them a quote for doing this scope. Okay. All right. So after that, number 3 form is you need to have your ongoing services proposal. So you don't want to just send over one thing like, oh, here it is. It's just this, right? So you've done the scope, you've provided a quote, and now you can provide them 3 options of what they can do to work with you. This is important, especially for service providers, because you're sort of leaving money on the table if you don't give them a couple different options. You're probably going to put your sweet spot of what you think they should purchase for a package in the middle when you're providing this quote. If you don't want to provide three options, that's totally fine, but you need a proposal or something to send over to them for the one, okay, for what you're going to do. And then if you do have 3 options, put like where the lowest thing you could possibly do for them, the ideal package of what you'd like to do for them, and then like the upsell kind of thing, right? So they're going to get their proposal, they're going to look it over, they're going to have a thing they can really read, a visual thing they can read and make a decision on how they're going to work with you. Then the 4th form you're going to need is a contract, right? I typically like to send my proposal and contract together so they can look at their proposal, accept the proposal, sign, okay? Sign the contract all in one go, all right? It reduces the amount of times I have to go back and forth with them. Now for coaching, your proposal may instead be like a checkout page so they can see all the things they get in your coaching offer. And then they need some sort of contract, terms and conditions, something that they sign up for right then and there. So you don't have to go chase them to make sure that contract is completed later. All right. So then the fifth and final form you need in your business for a smooth onboarding process is your new client intake form. So this is the form where you collect all the information you need to get started with the client. Now, this is really important for service providers because this is where they just purchased, right? They might be having a little bit of buyer's remorse. They're unsure if they've been burned in the past. They're like, oh, I'm a little worried about this one of hiring someone new. So by sending them the new client intake form, you're setting the standard of like, this is what you can expect from me. I am like on the ball. I'm getting you the information. I'm getting what I need so we can get going. So they're really actually going to appreciate you sending this form, asking them a bunch of questions so you can get moving, working on their business. Now, if you're a coach, then the very first thing, the comparable for a new client intake form would probably be like a form where you're asking them some sort of where they're at right now, so that you can then compare it to where you want them to be at the end of their coaching program. So it still is a new client intake form, but you're not asking them for like access to tools or things like that, but you're trying to get the information you need so you can coach them better. So it's still a really important form for you to have in your business. So that's it. These 5 forms are going to drastically improve and streamline all of the communication back and forth. What's really cool about a form is if you remember a new question like, oh, I should really add that to my intake form, you just add it to the form. You don't have to remember to ask that question later, right? You have it all on the form. Everything's ready to go. Clients are going to appreciate you getting this information upfront from them instead of them having to answer 20 different emails where you're asking the question later. And this is going to make it seem like they're like a super VIP red carpet onboarding treatment. So if this video was helpful, then hit the subscribe button below so that you can be notified of any future videos that are coming up. See you around next week for another systems and processes tip.